on Friday. So
Well, it'd be really great to get that everybody back together.
it's nice to get some bodies back. Perks will be possible, I think, but he's the only one right now.
Western Michigan.
Yeah.
It seems like they brought new guys in and keep winning games.
Yeah. Good team. Play up tempo, north quickly, hard at the net. So the team hasn't changed. The names have changed, though. That's it. So, yeah, talented players, and added some transfers again, and got a couple of European players that are new, freshmen that are talented. So, no different. Welcome to our league.
What do you like about, besides the 2 wins, which is obviously significant for a number of different reasons, what you like about what you saw from your group last weekend?
Thought we got better as the weekend went on. I thought we were a little sluggish in the beginning, but we got the lead, and I thought we got better. I was real happy for Adam. You know, goalies always like to get the goose egg, the shutout. But I thought our guys buckled down for him too, and you know, after the previous weekend, it was a good response. I thought Saturday was. First 2 periods were really good for us. The third period, sometimes the way the first 2 went and the way the game kind of, you know, went in our favor after we were down, you know, to score 6 straight. I thought those are hard sometimes to play, and then we put ourselves in a tougher spot by taking the major. But our killers were great all weekend, and obviously Adam had a good weekend, and we had a lot of different scores. So I was happy. I think some guys. It was great to see Carter Loney get a couple goals, and that line I thought was really good for us. It was a really, you know, we always look at the other guys, but those guys I think were really important both nights for us. So there was a lot of positives. Obviously, I took John's advice and said score more and give up less. So that seems to work.
Yeah. The thing that jumped for me watching it as close as I got, the forecheck you got out of Smith and Loney and Molinard, it felt like in the offensive zone, bodies and sticks are almost always in the right places. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, we got a couple goals off the forecheck. I mean, they were obviously. No, they play the right way. Like if we need a line to go and get pucks in and grind it out, they're willing to do that, right? And I think that was really important, and you need that from everybody when it's called for. But I think those guys play a simple game. I really liked how they played off each other, and they got rewarded. Again, it's a simple. You play the game the right way, you usually get rewarded, and those guys got rewarded with goals. They played a lot. They did good. All 3 of them did a good job killing penalties for us. They played a huge role in the weekend. So we're going to look for those guys to keep doing that, and the contributions offensively, they're going to continue to do that because they'll keep playing that way, right? May not be every weekend where they're going to score 3-4 goals, but I hope so because they're going to generate chances the way they play.
Having that out of older guys, what's the significance of that? Just feel, especially when we talked about Joe, you and I did on Saturday, that all 3 of those guys, older guys, have played the game the right way.
Yeah, it's first they're older, experience, right? You know, talked about Joe a lot, right? His calming influence, some of the intangible things he brings. You know, the messages on the bench. If you watch him play, there's no panic in his game. I think it was great to see Jack come back and really not miss a beat. Actually, you know, from where he was before he got hurt. And Loans has been good for us, but you know, we talked a little bit about what can we do to get you to contribute a little more offensively, because he's had offensive skill. Like, I'm not asking him to lead our team in scoring, but he's a really good F1 on the forecheck, as you see. He's smart, but it was just good to see those guys, because you know, if Carter gets 2, that takes a burden off him, and who knows, maybe he gets 10, 12, 15 goals for us this year. Don't know, but we're going to rely on those guys. You know, we can play them against anybody. They're all very important guys in our kill. And they're kind of like-minded the way they play, and they're okay with playing the simple game. That's the nice thing about it, right? They don't have to be fancy, and sometimes this game isn't fancy. It's simple, hard work, grind, get to the net, make simple plays. You saw both their goals are 10 feet around the net. You know, well, actually all three. Jack, went off his leg, but they're willing to go there.
Max, we saw 2 years of change before he got hurt. What he needed to get him back out there.
Well, it's huge. I mean, obviously he had a great start, but I also think it just, again, the depth. Especially with Matty being a little iffy, right? We bring in another, talented left winger that can play. We'll reunite him probably with Zam right now and get him back on the power play, and he's looked good. I mean, he wanted to play last weekend, and I probably could have, but we waited another week. I wanted him to get a really good full week of practice from day one, being on a line and getting his mind back into it. But he was good about it. Like he like any player, right? They're more important in the long term, not the immediate short term gains. So, and we had guys with the guys on the trip, Fish went in and did a good job, and we had other guys that could play with Matty being out too.
You say he was battling through something earlier in the year in training camp, but seeing Anthony go through the
Gino?
last 3 weeks, what's allowed him to start putting the puck in the net? Where do you see his?
Well, I think he's always had that ability. I think you look at his last year in junior, right? He's going for the Cy Young Award for sure. I think he had that in junior hockey too. But I just think he's playing the way Gino needs to play, right? And that's something we talked about with him too. Just when you go up there, just play your game, right? Because he can skate, he's an agitator, he can shoot a puck. Don't change your game. You know what? You're going to get opportunities if you play the right way, especially playing with those guys. Make sure you're ready. I mean, I thought he could have probably had another 5 or 6 goals this weekend, so hopefully he can, finish off more of those chances, because they're going to keep coming with the line he's on. Dom's going to create, Shog's is going to create, but Gino brings an element to that line with speed and tenacity, and just keep your game simple, right? Because sometimes guys move with different guys and they change the way they play, and then they end up not really accomplishing what they should accomplish. And his effectiveness on the line is the reason he's there is he has the ability to score. He can skate. He's not afraid of the physical. A little kamikaze at times, but I love that about him, right? And you got Dom and who can skate, and obviously key player for us, and it's a good compliment on the line. Like, you try it, you don't know. But we talked about it probably a month, 3 weeks before we actually did it, and he's taken advantage of it. He's had a great opportunity there. It's got him on the power play. We kept that line together. So far so good. But
You kind of touched on it before, but I asked about him last weekend. I think it's only fair to see Adam respond to a tough weekend against Minnesota. How important is that for a young goaltender to see the immediate response and to get to go back there?
Well, like I said, I believe in him. That's why it's easy to put him on the shelf. I mean, obviously, just because he had a couple opportunities where we pulled him a couple times, you got to go through that stuff, right? It was good for our other goalies to see that too, and obviously one of them got in there. But yeah, I was happy with it. Like, he had a good week, and hopefully that is, because if all those guys play well, including him, that's good for our team, right? But I like the fact that he made key saves on Friday. There wasn't a lot of, compared to some of the games we've played, and sometimes key save on a penalty kill, where we did have a breakdown, he was there, right, and preserved that shutout. And I thought, we got down 2-0, and it was really important that our team showed, okay, we come back and we score 3 to get the lead and never give it up. So we kind of battled for him too, even though those goals were kind of crazy bounces. But he was gonna. He wasn't coming out of that game, no matter what the score was. But it was nice to see our guys battle back, and it's good for our guys' confidence too to go, hey, we can do this, right? And just overall, there was a lot of good things, and we got to keep following up. We got to build on it.
We get up 2-0 on Saturday, and right, it's like there's a TV timeout, and then right out of that, I think Kirk and Blake that had a really good offensive zone shift. Maybe a couple of shots, but they kept the puck in the zone the whole time and worked it around. You start to change them, they get a clear, Ty forces a turnover in the neutral zone, comes in and sets up Jason for that first goal. How big was that ozone shift right before that goal?
I'm glad you reminded me of it because I didn't remember it. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I just thought, I think all those they're always important, right? They're always important, but I didn't quite realize it all went like that. But I'll have to go back and watch it. But yeah, those are important sequences. There's always, it's like I threw Dom's line back out there again, right? And just sometimes those guys are are feeling it a little bit. And I actually thought one of our lines was struggling a little bit on Saturday, so I was going to play those guys a little bit more, and they rewarded the team with some goals, and so yeah, we just got to keep doing it. I just got to keep doing it. And again, we didn't win anything. We won a couple games, and it was a good response after the previous weekend. And again, we saw some good things that I keep reminding you we keep seeing. But so again, there's some growth with some of the things that we need to get better at. We're not there yet, but now it'll be a different team this weekend that plays a different way, that puts you on your heels a lot and tries to put you on your heels a lot. But we've always had good games against them too. So probably be a little bit of racehorse hockey for sure.
You talked in the past about your coaching tree with Hurst coming back this week. I know he's been here before with Western, but do you get a chance during the week to talk to him or see him before or after, or is that all left for the summer?
He called me to figure out how to winterize the cabin he bought for me, if that's anything. No, we talk. We see each other on the road too, and he's called with a lot of those questions. But I don't know if he might be sticking around Saturday to see his daughter and everything. But no, we talk. I mean, he's a good coach, and he loves he's got a place up here, and he loves living in this area. But he's just working at Western, so but no, we'll see him, and we're gonna try and solve his penalty kill. That's the Kraus versus Herder penalty kill. So,
Coach, can you talk about the conversations you have with someone like Carter Loney or Gino about, hey, what can we do to help you become more offensive? Do you see similarities in the things and the feedback that they give you?
Some of it's just they've got to believe in themselves a little bit too. Gino doesn't have that problem. He's a pretty confident kid, right? I don't mean that in a bad way. I just think when he makes his mind up about one thing, it doesn't matter what you say. He's doing it, right? But he's been effective for us. I think Lone's, he's gone through a couple of years here with injuries, right? He's played in the middle of the rink. I think he's been better on the wing for us, even though he filled in the middle. And just sometimes guys lose offensive confidence. I think he's a very defense-minded first thinker right now, and I think sometimes I want him to keep that mentality, but have a little more just believing that he can do more things offensively. And it starts with shooting the puck. I get on him all the time about shooting the puck. I'm like, and then there's other guys too. I'm like, I don't know how you can go through a game without a shot on net, right? I tell him I'm 60, I could go get at least one shot on net. It might not be pretty, but, and that's not a tell-all, but it just gets them thinking. So you talk about things, and whether it's sometimes watching video or tell them to watch situations where they could maybe put themselves in situations to get opportunities, because sometimes you don't get a lot of space, right? Or sometimes you're in those areas and you want to make the perfect play, or you want to stick handle it one more time instead of just shooting it, right? And I thought he put himself in a good spot on the rebound, and then again on Jack, made a great play to him in the slot, and so it was good, right? And so hopefully they just think a little bit differently too. It's not major changes, but sometimes guys have to work on things to get confidence, right? Working on shooting, quick shots, one-timers, tips, all that stuff helps, right? If you don't work on it, how do you get confidence in it? Like, it might happen never in a practice unless you work on it before or after, but there's always time before and after to work on things. And probably one of the biggest things I try and impress upon them is, if you have an off day, leave the rink, do something at the end of practice for 5 minutes or 10 minutes where you leave the rink feeling good about what you did. Because everyone's going to have a bad day, you're going to mishandle pucks, your legs are going to be heavy or whatever. So just try and do something, right? No, I don't know if they all do it, but it's something. But no, it was good. And I'm not saying Carter scored 2 goals because of that. I think he's been playing the right way, but it was great to see him get rewarded because he has done some really good things. So maybe that opens up some doors for him too, offensively, which is great for our team, because that line, like I said, that line was, really, really good for us in a lot of different ways.
How do you manage putting purpose behind, hey, I need you to shoot more versus just taking careless shots and making sure they don't stand by?
Well, there's different ways to shoot pucks, right? You go stand and pick corners, that's okay. You can simulate game things, movement, with pressure, without pressure. Lots of different ways. One-timers, same thing, You can do them stationary, you can do them moving, but you got to practice different things, like getting a pass. If I'm one-timing a puck, not every pass is going to be perfect. So can you shoot? Like, you watch Ovechkin, right? Not every pass is perfect, but he knows how to one-time a puck. That's why he's got 870 goals, right? Doesn't matter where the puck is for some of those guys because they've done it so much. So there's different ways.
I know Zan mentioned not playing with his brother maybe allows him to grow a little bit more and faster. Have you seen that at all?
Well, I think they've all grown. I mean, I think it was good for him too to get a couple points because I think he's been fighting, pushing, pressing, and I think for him to make a couple plays, have some chances, but get a couple assists and just, they're offensive players. So they want to produce offense. That's what they are. And when they don't, there's guys get frustrated, right? I never had to worry about that because I was never that, right? But those guys, they want to score. They want to be involved in the offense. They want to have an impact on the game offensively. And I think he's worked hard and competes. As you see, he's got a great stick. He hunts pucks. He's been pretty good in the face-off circle. Like, that's where we need him. He's a driver of a line. I don't think it matters who he plays with because he doesn't change how he plays. But I think getting a guy like even Harper Bentz, who he played with in Fargo, there's a little bit of a history there, right? It's like his brother. There's a history. They don't have to practice together for a month to go, hey, I know where you're going to be, right? And getting him back will certainly, hopefully, help both of them. Harper's on that wing with them, so hopefully that's a good thing. But no, he's a driver. I mean, but they want to score and they want to make those plays. That's not that they don't want to do other things, but that's what they are. That's their history is that, and that's what it'll continue to be.
Say a couple days over at the deck, you played there, you coached on both benches, walking over there, maybe that can be memories for you.
Yeah, every time we go there, guys go, we got to play a game here, coach. They want to play a game there, so I'm like, I'm fine with that if we can. Yeah, I like that. I mean, it's always been a great rink. I mean, the neutral zone's really tight. We did the 4-on-4 game on Tuesday, and the guys are like, whoa, there's not a lot of room because it's so tight in there, right? We almost went to 3-on-3, but they didn't. We decided to keep it 4-on-4. Yeah, no, it's a lot of good memories there. I remember the last game there too, right before we moved over against Denver, and so. But it's fun. It's fun to go over there, and think the guys like it. I still laugh at when we used to always play there, and then we go to those Olympic rinks. And like if you painted the deck size in those Olympic rinks, like I do it on the board and go, this is what it is, and this is how much extra skating those teams do versus you guys. Then you wonder why we have longer conditioning days, right? Because it's not a big ice sheet. But a lot of good memories. Still a great rink. Maybe we'll play a game there someday. I don't know.
Coach, speaking of memories, pausing on hockey earlier this weekend, there's a big celebration for Adam Johnson. Can you just talk about your collective emotions for Saturday?
Yeah, I mean it'll be fun too. I mean because we're gonna have a bunch of alumni parents back, right? So that's a kind of a neat thing. That's always fun to have them back, but a lot of them are friends of, Adam's parents, and obviously there'll be the Hibbing some Hibbing contingent here, and try and raise some money for his foundation. And yeah, I mean it's kind of like I told Matt. I said, it's been a tough year, like just with some people that we've lost, and started with that, and it was obviously tragic. But anytime you can celebrate, his life and what he's meant, the type of person he was, it's a great opportunity. And like I said, I'm glad Hertz will be in town too, because he was part of that, and I'm glad a lot of our alumni parents that know the Johnsons and certainly Adam are going to be back in town. So we just got to hopefully win a couple of games. That's all.
How would you describe the impact that you have seen over the course of the year, despite the tragedy that it was?
Well, it certainly was an eye-opener for the hockey world, right? I like that there's been some changes with the youth hockey, with the next stuff. I mean, even the American League. I know somebody asked me the other day, is it going to be mandatory in the NCAA? And I said, I don't know. We have a few guys wearing them. I think we had more last year. I'm probably a little more surprised, and I'm not in that world, but I'm more surprised I haven't seen a lot of different maybe manufacturers or different types of I know I'm working with a friend of mine who I used to deer hunt with. He's with a company. He sent a couple samples that our guys got to try, and so to get feedback. It's not there yet, but so that was good. So there's people trying. I just haven't seen a lot of stuff, right? So eventually, you just don't want to see it take something like that, and even now you watch even I watch American League, right? Guys aren't wearing them the right way. You need something that's going to. Nothing can protect everything, but hopefully it'll get to the point where everyone's comfortable wearing it, right? And I think guys know, probably players know it would probably be a good thing, but there's just that too hot, uncomfortable, whatever. Guys are stubborn. Players are stubborn, but hopefully it'll get there. But it's brought a lot of awareness to that, and like I said, it should never take something tragic to bring awareness, but that's sometimes what it takes. So good. Mm-hmm.
Just how to feel you back in the lineup.
Good. It was unfortunate hit that left me out for a couple of weeks, but it felt good to get back with the guys, and didn't feel too long, so it's good to get back out there.
It seemed like you and Carter and Joe were going pretty good the whole weekend. How good did it feel, the three of you together?
Yeah, I think we gel well together. We're a couple older guys that play hard, and I think our success just comes from playing simple. We're hard in the D zone, and that leads to offense. So I think that's what's working for us.
What that goal going off of?
Yeah, I was just going to the net, and I was yelling for it, and it just went right off my shin pad and in the net. I didn't even know it went in at first. So, but got to get to the net. So.
They say harder than that, good things happen.
Yep, exactly.
Western Michigan, different challenge. A team that it seems like they're all, even without the puck, they're somehow going north. How difficult will this be this weekend? A good matchup with this?
Yeah, it'll be a tough weekend. They're a good team. They're ranked. I know they play fast. Like you said, they get the puck up the ice, but I think we've been improving the D zone and just all over the ice, and I think it'll be a good test for us here at home this weekend.
You guys were able to generate some shifts off multiple lines, including yours, where you're holding the offensive zone, you're keeping Miami from getting anything going north. How important is it to have that mentality against a team like this, where it seems like one little mistake and they got numbers somehow going the other way?
Yeah, it's important. Sandy always preaches, hold on to the puck. Like it's already hard to get the puck, so you don't want to give it away easily. And yeah, it's all four lines were gelling last weekend, and hopefully that leads into this weekend.
Had to be painful to watch when you were out of the lineup, but it's kind of neat to come back when you know that the team needed you more than you needed them.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I've been bombarded with injuries, I guess, the last couple of years, and just trying to shake the injury bug. And like I said, it was just an unfortunate hit. But yeah, I hate watching from the stands, and it was just good to get back out there last weekend.
Watching the hit, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be a lot longer than a couple weeks. Was knowing your history, was there a sigh of relief that it was only going to be a short-term thing for you?
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what was going on at first, but then we got some stuff checked out, and it was a big relief that it was just a short couple of weeks. So.
With your first couple of years going the way they did, and just kind of getting back, I think we were talking when you first got here, you hadn't played competitive hockey in so long. I mean, now as you get to be an older guy, much more comfortable are you feeling just even taking a few weeks to be out of the lineup when you're in there that you can play the game?
Yeah, it definitely helps just being here for 3 years and just learning from the older guys and just knowing what I have to do. It's easier to hop right back into the lineup when stuff goes wrong or something.
Was there a different perspective you gained being out a couple of weeks, feedback, different things that you were able to point out to your team?
Yeah, the game's a lot easier to watch from the stands for sure. I'm sure you guys all know that. But yeah, we've been working on different stuff and just, like I said, just trying to keep it simple and working on our D zone, just different stuff. And yeah, it's way easier in the stands, and definitely brought some stuff to the locker room just everybody, whether you're playing or not. I think there's always stuff that we talk about after the game and going into the week. So.
Let's talk about this weekend. How meaningful is it to have the Memorial Night on Saturday for you guys to kind of all come together for Adam?
Yeah, it'll be a special weekend for sure. Such a sad tragedy, and it'll be good to celebrate it. And hopefully, we have a lot of fans here to celebrate that night. And yeah. All right. Thank you.